Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanim. So, a lot of interesting things happening today. So the SEC, the SEC is going to be coming after a lot of different crypto companies, crypto assets, and such like that. We've always known this is coming. We have this little tidbit here on cryptodaily.co.uk, and we have another article actually we're going to cover that's very interesting about stable coins. Okay, but here, let's just cover this a little bit here. The SEC Division of Examinations recently released a report which laid out the technological, legal, and regulatory risks associated with securing crypto assets, and expressed that crypto companies are expected to record an asset and corresponding liability on their balance sheets at fair value. Let's just scroll down this just a little bit here. It says this will mean that liquidity providers and automated market makers will have to comply with new regulations and register with the SEC if digital assets are added to their balance sheets, leaving them open to scrutiny of the U.S. regulator and perhaps to a potential lawsuit. Wow. Is there a certain point where the government needs to start evaluating whether or not the SEC is out of control? I mean, how many businesses have to file complaints against the SEC? How many successful, innovative businesses and entities have to have a problem like this with the SEC? You had Elon Musk and Tesla, and I believe that Elon Musk had problems with the SEC at other times. You have Ripple. So all of these companies that are innovative, that the SEC's rules and regulations don't really apply to because they're new. They're new in their fields, right? Crypto is a new asset class. But all of these innovative things that could benefit the United States and the people of the world, really, as a whole, they all have had problems and run afoul of the SEC. So at some point, I think somebody has to ask, like, is this governing body out of control? Now, I know the government, certain governmental entities within the United States have said that maybe there needs to be a new regulating body for new asset classes and new technologies and new industries and such like that. I agree with that. And I haven't heard anything since that time. But this is something that they definitely should look into, because right now, I said this before, right now, the United States is in a bad position in every possible way. It's suffering. And it could really benefit from some new innovations that unlock new avenues of capital, new pathways for people to save a little bit more money, to live a little bit easier. Like, all of this is possible. All of this is possible, but regulatory bodies like the SEC are standing in the way of these types of things. It's unbelievable. So now, I guess they found another way to go after liquidity providers. And listen, you do not, like, this is one of the main things that Ripple does. So let's read that again. This will mean that liquidity providers and automated market makers will have to comply with new regulations. So I guess at some point we should probably find out and go over what these new regulations are, so we can have a little bit of a deeper understanding of what companies such as Ripple, who provides on-demand liquidity, and that the entirety of the world is going to need some sort of liquidity cushion, especially when it comes to stable coins and when it comes to moving large amounts of capital back and forth between banks. They're definitely going to need that. It just seems like, how are you helping investors if you're the SEC? How are you helping investors if you're literally hurting not only investors, you're hurting the world, literally. It's not a joke. You're holding the world back from moving forward. Why? The question has to be why. And then if you ask that question, I think the first answer that would logically come to mind is that they are protecting the legacy system. Because this entire time that these proceedings are going on, the legacy system is still generating that money. They're still damaging the banks. They're still damaging the governments that these legacy system intermediaries are a part of. But it doesn't seem like the people care, like the people involved care, because as long as that money is coming in, I mean, They don't care about the people that are actually suffering, or the world as it's literally burning to the ground. Like, but these new technologies, this could raise people up, right? You can make generational wealth if XRP goes off. People have a ton of XRP. They have a ton of XLM. They have a ton of Algorand. A lot of people are going to get rich. A lot of people are going to make a lot of money, no matter what it is. It's going to be a step up for sure, right? In my humble opinion, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and it doesn't matter to me whether you buy or sell, okay? So let's just get that out of the way. But no matter what, people stand to make a good amount of money, and they could use that. How is that in one of the most dire times in the world right now? I mean, there's suffering everywhere, especially in the United States. In one of the most dire times, how can you possibly, as a regulatory body, stand on the idea that you're protecting people when you're literally keeping them from making money that could pay their rent for years, pay their mortgage for years, buy groceries for years, move them to a better place? How can you possibly say that you are protecting these people? And see, and this is why I said last year, I used to say this a lot last year, people need to contact their governmental officials, their city councilmen, their senators, their congressmen, write to the SEC, complain about things like this. If you feel moved to do that, I can't tell you what to do. But I mean, if someone's holding me back from living a better life, you better believe I'm going to take action to remedy that situation. So you have that, okay? So it's just unbelievable that now there's new regulations coming out and there's going to be more problems. My goodness. But let's continue on here. We have another article. This one is on the cryptobasic.com. Okay. And I've been saying this for some time now. And then we had a document we went over in the members only section. This was last week, where we had confirmation that, yes, the central banks and the governments of the world are interested in stablecoins, but they are concerned about the liquidity issues with stablecoins, being that stablecoins are like digital cash. And so they would suffer from the same problems as digital cash. So now this is directly correlated with liquidity offerings like XRP. This is important, okay? So now this article is titled, UK government planning to adopt stablecoins as legal tender and make UK global hub for crypto asset technology. So let's just read just this little piece of this here, okay? Because this is huge. It says, the United Kingdom has disclosed several crypto-friendly efforts that will place the region at the cutting edge of its technology. The Chancellor of the Rishi Sunak said, "It's my ambition to make the UK a global hub for crypto asset technology, and the measures we've outlined today will help to ensure firms can invest, innovate, and scale up in this country." Then it continues on here. It says, according to a press release shared by HM Treasury, the department responsible for developing and executing the government's public finance policy, stable coins will be brought under the existing regulatory framework to facilitate their adoption and payments. HM Treasury also noted that it is also planning to foster business innovation by legislating a financial market infrastructure sandbox. The department added that a working group chaired by the economic secretary will be established to work closely with the crypto industry to understand better ways to regulate the nascent asset class. Rishi Sunak, Chancellor of HM Treasury, has commissioned and directed the Royal Mint to develop a non-fungible token by summer 2022. So now we have a new time period to get an update. The NFT will be regarded as an emblem of the forward-looking approach the UK government is determined to take with respects to crypto. So there's a lot more to this article. Make sure you guys go by the cryptobasic.com and check this article out. It's right on their front page. Can't miss it. So we know that Ripple has great relationships in the UK, great relationships in Europe. They have deep ties almost all around the world. This is important because, as I stated before, if you're going to be utilizing a massive amount of stable coins, you're going to need a liquidity cushion. I think this is logical. I mean, don't get me wrong. You could try it without a liquidity cushion, and then you're going to suffer from the same fate that you had when you just operated with the legacy system, which is bank runs, which are people pulling out all of their money at the same time. Then you have a liquidity crisis on hand. You need to avoid that. Listen, like I just said, the central banks, the supervisory body, just corroborated what I'm telling you now. So what does that mean? If these entities are wise, and let me tell you something, there's no guarantee that they're going to take the wise path. I mean, they've done a lot of things wrong in the past. Maybe they'll mess this up too. Who knows? But let's say they don't. They will need liquidity. Who better to provide that liquidity than XRP, who's ready to roll out liquidity infrastructure in their liquidity hub right now, okay, which will ensure that you never have problems as a bank and you can enjoy all that extra money that you're saving and you can reallocate it in different ways. And then obviously that's going to result in you being able to make more money and everything would be better. And you could grow as an organization. You can grow as a business, right? I'm talking about a boom period like the likes of which you've never seen. XRP can provide that. Ripple can provide that. So this is something definitely to keep an eye on. This could be huge. Well, I'm pretty sure if Ripple gets involved, and they should, we'll get an update from them. They're very, very vocal about this, but that could make a huge impact on the price of XRP immediately. I see this as something that can happen sooner, of course, because they're trying to roll out stablecoins early on here, much earlier than what the banks are given as their timeline for CBDCs, right? So this could happen more immediately, which means that this could have an impact on that price more immediately, right? To make that price skyrocket. If Ripple has to provide liquidity, let's just say it goes that route. No guarantees, okay? But let's just say it goes that route. If Ripple has to provide liquidity for all of these stablecoins, you better believe that price is going to go up. So they're talking about they're going to come out with an NFT by summer 2022, which means they're in rapid development of this particular project. So in my humble opinion, I'm going to over prepare. I'm going to scoop up as much XRP as I can before that time, because it seems that things are moving a little bit more rapidly, just in case. This doesn't mean you have to do what I do. I don't expect you to. I'm not here to give you advice whatsoever. But things are looking very, 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 very good. And this is something that's definitely interesting to keep our eye on. Those stable coins are going to be, they could be impactful. Now, in the long term, of course, you want those interbank payments moving through XRP. That's what's really going to generate that wealth. Or XRP possibly integrating with Swift or taking over Swift payments, that also. So there's all of these massive possibilities for XRP because of what it was designed to do. And because Ripple has a vested interest to see that XRP actually serves its purpose. That is major. That is huge. Okay. And nothing, I mean, there's things that have been holding it back, like the SEC, but you can only hold it back. You can't stop it outright. So it's just a matter of when, these possible things happen, in my humble opinion. And I don't think anything outright can stop that. It seems that the world is going to be in need of liquidity. It's like a life preserver in the world, the banking systems, the financial system, and the governments as well, because they are sort of floating on top of that financial system. There's so many different ties that they have. They are going to need a life preserver at some point in the near future. Okay. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.